Now, answering your questions about the law and legal issues. This is Legal Break with attorney Gary Bruce.
And I'm Taylor Kincaid. Welcome in. Gary, thanks for being with us today.
Good morning. Good to be here.
Let's get to our question for the day. What is the impact of not wearing a seatbelt if someone is hurt in a car wreck?
There's a lot going on in that question. The first thing I think we start with is this is one of the changes in the law that happened in the Georgia legislature last year when they adjusted some things. And it is this. It used to not be relevant to a case. You couldn't talk about whether someone wore a seatbelt or not in a trial, but now you can. So this is going to be an issue. The good news is that I see people wear their seatbelts now, so it still happens when you don't have a seatbelt on for whatever reason, and there's going to be allegations, I am certain, by insurance companies that you weren't wearing your seatbelt or you wouldn't have been hurt this bad, and we're going to say we were wearing our seatbelt. I don't know why, something happened. Anyway, so it's going to become messy, and that's really why it wasn't part of trials before, because it's hard to prove it had any impact. There's some cases, of course, where you could say, well, if you had a seatbelt on, this wouldn't have happened. But by and large, some of these injuries are subtle, and it's hard to say what the seatbelt impact had.
Do you think this would have any impact on the recovery?
And that'll be the whole argument. You wouldn't have been hurt this bad.
Right.
So recovery is measured by how it impacts your life. Your life wouldn't be impacted this bad if you had had your seatbelt on. And the burden of that is going to be on the insurance company, the other side. We'll talk about this another time, but we sue the individuals in Georgia. We don't sue Allstate, or whoever, but the insurance company they're the ones responsible, so they're the ones driving the train, hiring the lawyers for that side. And these are going to be arguments that are made, I think, a lot.
And other accidents that we see are motorcycles. Does anything play a role in that?
Yeah, we don't wear seatbelts on motorcycles, There are no, my saying about motorcycles has been this, there are no fender benders on motorcycles. And, they usually end up with a bad result, so be careful on motorcycles too. But, the seatbelt thing, I think is a big deal. I think we're going to be seeing more of it as an argument from the other side, as an excuse to say we shouldn't have to pay this claim. But remember, if you ever are presented with this, that burden is on the other side. They're going to have to prove that your injuries that you had were because of a lack of a seatbelt. So anyway, it'll be an interesting fight.
See how it works. And the moral of the story, wear your seatbelt, right?
Wear your seatbelt.
Thank you, Gary. We'll see you on the next Legal Break.